So high school sucked. My family was falling apart. I was in a school where I didn't know anybody, and I was really depressed. Because that's what happens, when you're a teenager and bad things happen and you don't talk about them. What happens is too many of us just bottle it up, and then we get depressed. And that's when people start doing dangerous things. I've never met happy teenagers who are getting high every single day. You don't get high every single day if you're happy. You're getting high so you can pretend like you're happy, right? Happy teenagers don't cut themselves, right? Happy teenagers don't bully people or, get blind drunk every weekend. People who are doing those things are doing them because there's something that something has gone wrong. There's a secret in their life and it hurts and they don't know how to talk about it. That's who I was. And I couldn't figure out, I didn't want to tell any of my teachers. I had some friends, but I didn't know them really well. The one thing I did, there were two things that I did that saved me, or else I'd probably be dead. I would have been dead by the time I was 15. The one thing that saved me was a short gym teacher named Mrs. Petzold. She came up to my knees. And she was very scary because she had giant teeth. She had teeth that looked like they belonged in the mouth of a horse. Yeah, and they were massive teeth. And she was a tiny woman, so they looked even bigger. She was very strong, too. I think she probably was a gymnast when she was little. And she came up to me in the beginning of 10th grade, and she looked up at me with those teeth. I thought she was going to bite my kneecaps off. And she said, "You're big." What do you say to that? What do you say to that? "Yes, ma'am," is what you say to that if you've got a teacher like that with those big teeth near your kneecaps. And so I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she goes, "You're going to be on sports teams this year. We need big girls." Okay, I guess I'm going to be on sports teams. So I wound up being on a couple different sports teams, not because I really wanted to, but I was terrified of Miss Petzold. And a funny thing happened because then I started to show up for practice, right? And you show up to practice, you have to exercise. And I started to exercise, and if you're depressed, getting exercise is the best thing you can do for yourself, right? Even if you suck at sports, which I do. So I started to feel a little bit better about the world. Not great, but I wasn't actively homicidal. I wasn't thinking about killing people. And then come to find out I was on this swim team and track team and stuff. And then I got yelled at because my grades weren't good enough because I wasn't going to class very often. And I wanted to keep on being on the sports teams, so I actually brought my grades up so that I wouldn't get kicked off the team. So by the time I got to kind of my junior year of high school, life didn't suck quite so hard. I had some friends, I was on sports teams, my parents were still crazy, but life was okay. But I knew I had to get out. I had to get out, and I had no plans on going to college. No way. I wanted to leave the country. So I did. This is what you should do. If life is sucking here, get your passport and leave the country. However, I did it in a fairly constructive, parent-approved way. I've always been fascinated by cultures that are different than mine and languages that are different than mine. So I became a foreign exchange student.